Former president says none of it is true, and he has pleaded not guilty to all charges. Trump walking into court today. Prosecutors outlining their case, accusing Trump of election fraud, pure and simple, they said today. Trump's lawyers saying, quote, there is nothing wrong with trying to influence an election. It's called democracy, and that none of this was a crime. Then prosecutors calling the first witness, David Pecker, to the stand, the former publisher of the National Enquirer, who prosecutors say was part of a scheme called Catch and Kill, buying unflattering stories about Trump and never publishing them.
Donald Trump walking into the Manhattan courtroom where today, for the first time in history, a jury heard testimony in a criminal case against a former American president.
It's a very, very sad day in America, I can tell you that.
With Trump slouching in his seat and sometimes closing his eyes, prosecutor Matthew Colangelo began his opening statement charging Trump orchestrated a criminal scheme to corrupt the 2016 presidential election. Jurors listening intently, some taking notes as the prosecutor laid out his case, accusing Trump of falsifying business records to disguise a $130,000 hush payment to porn star Stormy Daniels days before the election so voters wouldn't find out about her claim of an affair. At the time, Trump was under pressure. News had just broken of the Access Hollywood tape Trump caught on camera bragging about groping women. The prosecutor today quoting Trump's own words to the jury.
When you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
You can do anything, the prosecutor slowly reciting to the jury. Prosecutors said the tape's impact was explosive, and Trump and his campaign were deeply concerned. So when Trump learned Stormy Daniels was shopping a story of their alleged liaison, prosecutors said he was adamant it not come out, fearing it could have been devastating to the campaign. Prosecutors allege at Trump's direction his fixer Michael Cohen paid Daniels off and agreed to cook the books, so when Trump reimbursed him, it appeared as routine legal bills. The prosecutor called it a conspiracy to influence the 2016 election to help Donald Trump get elected. Election fraud, pure and simple. In his opening statement, defense attorney Todd Blanche insisting President Trump is innocent. President Trump did not commit any crimes. I have a spoiler alert, he told the jury. There is nothing wrong with trying to influence an election. It's called democracy. There is nothing illegal about entering into a non-disclosure agreement, he continued, period. He said Trump was unaware of any effort to camouflage the payment to Daniels as a business expense, and he told the jury Michael Cohen, a key prosecution witness, has an obsession with getting Trump. He cannot be trusted. But prosecutors insist the alleged criminal conspiracy to protect Trump involved others, including their first witness, David Pecker, the former National Enquirer publisher who once called Trump a personal friend. As Pecker took the stand, Trump leaned forward, arms crossed, an angry look on his face. Pecker has acknowledged buying negative stories about the candidate only to bury them, a practice known as catch and kill. On the stand, Pecker was blunt. We used checkbook journalism. We paid for stories. He's testifying under a subpoena, having cut a deal with prosecutors to avoid charges himself. He was only on the stand a few minutes today, but he'll be back tomorrow. Leaving court, Trump, who denies the affair with Daniels, tried to downplay the case against him.
It's a case as to bookkeeping, which is a very minor thing in terms of the law.
Tonight, college campuses scrambling to handle a growing pro-Palestinian protest movement. Columbia University stepping up campus security and moving classes online. The school's president saying we need a reset to de-escalate the rancor. But today, fresh arrests and tensions boiling over on the first night of Passover. This Israeli assistant professor confronting university officials over being denied access to the main lawn as school officials try to separate protesters.
I am a professor here. I have every right to be everywhere on campus. You cannot let people that support Hamas on campus and me, a professor, not go on campus. Let me in now.
It comes after a campus rabbi urged students to stay home, saying the school and the NYPD cannot guarantee Jewish students' safety. New York Mayor Eric Adams saying he is horrified and disgusted with anti-Semitism spewed at and around Columbia's campus. Pointing to videos circulating online, such as this one showing a woman in front of pro-Israel protesters with a sign reading Al-Qasam's next targets, a reference to Hamas's military wing.
Made me sick hearing the things they were saying and doing. So over this holiday, I kind of just want to try to avoid it as best as I can for my own safety.
Many pro-Palestinian protesters insist their movement is peaceful.
Violence has no place on this movement, and we regret some of the incidents that has happened that were actually unassociated with this movement.
The protests, calling for colleges to divest from companies with ties to Israel, now spreading to other campuses. Today, at least 45 people arrested at Yale University. At NYU, a standoff with police after protesters were told to vacate a campus plaza.
Tonight, with that $95 billion aid package finally making its way through Congress, a new lifeline for Ukraine in its war against Russia. President Zelensky saying in his evening address, I am grateful to Mr. President, his team, everyone in the United States Congress, personally to Speaker Johnson, and all who support the active defense of freedom. Zelensky speaking to President Biden by phone today, Biden vowing to sign the bill into law as soon as it reaches his desk. But tonight, Russia's foreign minister warning the Westerners are teetering dangerously on the brink of a direct military clash between nuclear powers.
The bill is passed.
It comes just days after Speaker Mike Johnson put his job on the line to pass that aid package in the House. Nearly $61 billion for Ukraine, $26 billion for Israel, and $8 billion for Taiwan. Plus legislation that would ban TikTok if its Chinese parent company doesn't sell the app.
You do the right thing and you let the chips fall where they may.
It's a dramatic 180 for Johnson, a devout Christian who was staunchly against aid to Ukraine. But after classified briefings and lots of praying, Johnson making a complete turnaround, arguing that Ukraine is critical to U.S. national security. But hardline Republicans fuming, with at least 3 still threatening to oust him.
He's disappointed us. He can't be speaker.
Tonight, Los Angeles investigators working to determine whether the alleged break-in at the home of Mayor Karen Bass was a targeted attack.
Units responding to incident 1065. The alarm was personally activated.
The LAPD saying early Sunday morning the suspect smashed through a glass door. The mayor's office telling ABC the mayor and other family members were inside when it happened. The LA Times reporting she hid in a safe room as the suspect made it to the second floor.
Be advised, there's a subject inside the residence right now.
Officers on the scene within minutes, arresting 29-year-old Ephraim Matthew Hunter, booking him on a felony burglary charge.
We have one in custody. You're clearing the house right now.
Court records show Hunter was previously charged with kidnapping and attempted murder back in 2015 in Massachusetts. He was convicted of assault with a deadly weapon, sentenced to 5 to 7 years in prison. The mayor today declining to reveal details of this new investigation.
Let me just say, first of all, I am fine. My family is fine. And we are going to do everything we can to keep Angelenos safe.
Tonight, the FAA is investigating a near disaster at one of the nation's busiest airports. An April 17th Zurich-bound Swiss Air flight cleared for takeoff at JFK, beginning to speed down the runway, forced to abort after noticing air traffic control also cleared 4 other planes to cross that same runway, putting them on a collision course. Listen to air traffic control clearing Swiss Air Flight 17.
Swiss 117 levy runway 4 left, clear for takeoff.
Then, moments later, as the plane is headed down the runway, the pilot suddenly sees the other planes taxiing and aborts the takeoff. Tonight, the Swiss airline praising their quick-thinking team, saying in a statement, due to the high level of situational awareness, a potentially dangerous situation was quickly de-escalated.
Moving 4 aircraft across an active runway and one controller not talking to another indicates a special level of stress.
The incident came just a day before another near-catastrophic close call. Panic in the tower at Washington's Reagan National Airport as 2 packed planes came within 400 feet of each other.
Stop. Southwest 2937, stop.
A JetBlue flight cleared for takeoff, forced to slam on its brakes after air traffic control noticed they cleared a Southwest plane to taxi across the same runway.